2:11 a.m. That's when my dead wife texted me. I know what you're thinking. Wrong number. Prank. Someone's idea of a sick joke. But here's the thing, the message came from her phone. The one I buried with her. The one that's been 6 feet underground for exactly 2 years, 3 months, and 17 days. Before we continue, please like, subscribe and share, this means a lot to our community. The text was simple. Just 5 words that made my blood turn to ice. Check the basement. Trust me. I haven't been in our basement since the funeral. Couldn't bring myself to go down there. That's where she spent her last days, you see. Converting it into an art studio. Her dream project. She never got to finish it. My finger hovered over the delete button. Every logical part of my brain screamed that this was impossible. Dead people don't text. Dead people don't. But that's the thing about love. The real kind. The kind that doesn't end just because a heart stops beating. I grabbed my flashlight. And I went down. The basement stairs creaked the same way they always had. 13 steps. I'd counted them 1,000 times. But tonight, each one felt like walking deeper into a grave. The flashlight beam cut through the darkness, landing on drop cloths covering her unfinished paintings. 2 years of dust had settled over everything like snow. Like the world itself was trying to bury the memory of her. My wife wasn't just beautiful. She was light. You know those people who walk into a room and somehow make everyone feel like they matter? That was her. 3 years of marriage. 3 years of waking up next to someone who made you believe that maybe, just maybe, you deserve to be happy. The cancer took 18 months to kill her. 18 months of watching that light dim. Of holding her hand through chemo. Of pretending to be strong when all I wanted to do was scream at a universe that would let someone so good suffer so much. Toward the end, she'd barely talk. Kept her foggy. But she'd squeeze my hand 3 times. Our code. Always had been. I love you. 3 squeezes. I never got to say it back the last time. I scanned the flashlight across the room. Everything looked exactly as she'd left it. Her paint brushes in the jar by the window. Her reading glasses on the workbench. The half-finished canvas of the lighthouse we'd visited on our honeymoon. Nothing was out of place. Nothing was. Wait. There was something new. In the corner, behind the old furnace, barely visible in the shadows, a wooden crate. About 3 feet tall. 2 feet wide. I'd never seen it before. My phone buzzed. Another text. From her number. Open it. My hands were shaking as I pulled the crate into the light. It wasn't locked. The lid lifted easily, and inside. Letters. Hundreds of them. All in her handwriting. All addressed to me. I picked up the first one. The envelope was dated, today. The day she died. 2 years ago. My vision blurred as I opened it. My love, if you're reading this, it means 2 years have passed. I know you. I know you haven't been down here. Haven't touched my things. Haven't let yourself grieve properly because you think staying busy means staying strong. I know you've been running. But baby, it's time to stop. It's time to remember. Not just how I died, but how we lived. Read these letters. One each day. Trust the process. Trust me. And whatever you do, don't let him find them first. All my love, forever and always. Him? What did she mean, him? I grabbed another envelope. This one dated 3 days from now. Then another, dated a week out. There were letters here spanning the entire next year. A letter for every day. But that last line, don't let him find them first. A noise upstairs. Footsteps. In my house. My phone buzzed again. Hide them. Now. I killed the flashlight and pressed myself against the wall behind the furnace, clutching the crate. The footsteps moved across the floor above me. Slow. Deliberate. Like someone who knew exactly where they were going. The basement door opened. Heavy boots on the stairs. 1, 2, 3. A man's voice, unfamiliar and cold. I know you're down here. And I know you found them. 4, 5, 6. Those letters, they're not what you think. She was sick. Confused. Making up stories. 7, 8. You don't want to read them. You don't want to know what she really was. 9, 10. My heart was hammering so hard I was sure he could hear it. Last chance. Give me the letters, and I'll leave. Keep them. 11, 12. And you'll wish you'd died with her. 13. The beam of a flashlight swept across the room. I held my breath, pressed so far back into the shadows I could feel the cold concrete wall through my shirt. The light passed within inches of where I crouched. Then, footsteps going back up. Slow. The basement door closed. But I heard no front door. No car engine. He was still in my house. Waiting. I waited in that basement for 3 hours. 3 hours in the dark, clutching a crate of letters from my dead wife, while a stranger walked through the rooms above me. Finally, silence. Then an engine starting. Tires on gravel. I waited another hour to be sure. When I finally crept upstairs, the house was empty. But he'd been through everything. Drawers pulled open. Cushions overturned. He was searching for something. I locked every door and window. Then I sat at the kitchen table and opened the second letter. The one dated tomorrow. I need to tell you about the year before we met. About the pharmaceutical company I worked for. About what I found in their research. They were testing a new drug. Something that was supposed to cure depression. But in the trials, people started dying. 37 people. And the company buried it. Falsified the data. Released it anyway. I had proof. Documents. Test results. I was going to go to the authorities. But then I got scared. They threatened me. Said accidents happen. So I ran. Changed my name. Moved across the state. That's when I met you. At that coffee shop on 5th Street. You with your terrible jokes and kind eyes. You made me feel safe for the first time in a year. I thought I could leave it all behind. Build a new life. But baby, the cancer wasn't random. I need you to understand that. Check the autopsy report. Really check it. The chemical markers. They match the side effects from the drug trials. They killed me. And they made it look natural. I couldn't tell you while I was alive. Couldn't put you in danger. But now you need to know the truth. The man who came tonight? His name is Detective Raymond Cross. He's not really a detective anymore. He's their cleaner. The one who makes problems disappear. The documents I stole are still hidden. And these letters will guide you to them. But you have to be careful. Trust no one. Not the police. Not the lawyers. No one. Tomorrow's letter will tell you where to start. I love you. And I'm so sorry. The letter slipped from my fingers. They killed her. All those months of watching her suffer. Holding her hand through the pain. Believing it was just cruel, random fate. It wasn't. Someone murdered my wife and made it look like cancer. My phone buzzed. Another text. You read it, didn't you? Now you understand. This is bigger than you know.
They'd been watching you for 2 years, waiting to see if she told you anything.
Now that you found the letters, you have 48 hours. Maybe less. The next letter is hidden in a place only you would know. Where you first told me you loved me. Get it before sunrise. And whatever you do, don't trust the police. They're already paid off. You're in this alone now. But I'll guide you. Every step. Just like I promised. For better or worse. Till death do us part, and beyond.
I knew exactly where she meant. The old railway bridge on the edge of town.
We'd gone there on our second date. Watched the sunset.
I'd been so nervous, my palms sweating, trying to find the right word. She'd laughed at something I said, I can't even remember what now, and in that moment, with the golden light in her hair and that smile that made my chest ache.
I just said it. I think I'm falling in love with you. 3 seconds of silence. 3 seconds where I thought I'd ruined everything.
Then she'd taken my hand and squeezed it 3 times.
I love you. We'd carved our initials into the bridge that night. Hidden them under the third plank from the north side. That's where the next letter would be. I grabbed my keys, then stopped. What if they were watching the house?
I went to the garage and pulled out my wife's old bicycle. The one she'd used before the cancer made her too weak.
It still had her helmet hanging from the handlebars.
I held it for a moment, breathing in the faint scent of her shampoo that somehow still clung to the padding after all this time.
Then I rode. The streets were empty at 4 a.m.
Just me, the stars, and the ghosts of 1,000 memories on every corner. The railway bridge stood dark against the pre-dawn sky. I climbed over the safety fence and crawled under the third plank.
My fingers found it immediately. A waterproof envelope, taped to the underside.
But as I pulled it free, I heard it.
The sound that stops your heart. A gun being cocked. Step away from the bridge. I turned slowly. Detective Cross stood 20 feet away, weapon drawn. But he wasn't alone. There were 3 others with him. All armed. All professional.
Those letters, Cross said. They're the delusional fantasies of a dying woman.
You understand that, right? The medication. The pain. It made her paranoid. Inventive. Then why do you want them so badly? Because you're not thinking clearly. You're grieving. And grief makes people do stupid things. Dangerous things. I clutched the envelope tighter. She knew. She knew you killed her. Cross's expression didn't change. She was sick. We're very sorry for your loss. But this ends now. Give us the letters. All of them. And this goes away. You go back to your life. Grieve properly. Move on. And if I don't?
He lowered the gun slightly. When he spoke again, his voice was almost gentle.
Then you have an accident. Just like she did.
And those letters get lost forever.
No one remembers. No one cares. 37 people died in those trials. What's 2 more?
The envelope in my hand felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Behind Cross, the horizon was starting to lighten.
First hint of dawn. My wife had spent 18 months dying. 18 months of pain.
And even then, even with poison in her veins put there by these men, she'd been planning.
Protecting me. Leaving me a trail to the truth. I thought about her last days. How she'd asked to be buried with her phone. How everyone thought it was sweet. Sentimental. A wife who couldn't let go. But she was smarter than all of us. She'd set a timer. 2 years. Long enough for them to think they'd won. Long enough for them to get comfortable. And then, a text from beyond the grave. I looked at Cross. At the gun.
At the men behind him.
And I smiled. You want to know the thing about my wife? She was always 3 steps ahead of everyone. I held up the envelope. This isn't the documents. This is just letter number 3. Cross's eyes narrowed. Then where? She mailed them. 2 years ago. To every major news outlet in the country. Set to be delivered tomorrow morning. It was a bluff. A desperate, stupid bluff. But Cross's face went pale.
For 5 long seconds, nobody moved. Then Cross lowered his gun.
You're lying. Am I?
I never found out if I was lying or not. Because at that exact moment, my phone buzzed.
One last text. From her. Run. And the railway bridge exploded. I woke up in a hospital 3 days later. Broken ribs. Concussion. 2nd-degree burns on my left arm. Cross and his men didn't make it.
The official story was a gas line rupture.
Terrible accident. Wrong place, wrong time. But I knew better. My wife had rigged that bridge. Years ago, probably. Insurance. A failsafe.
She'd known exactly how it would play out. Even in death, she was protecting me. The letters are still coming.
One each day, just like she promised. Each one reveals more. Names. Dates. Locations.
A trail of evidence that leads higher and higher up the chain.
I'm following it. All of it. Because 37 people died. And my wife. And she deserves justice. They all do. Last week, letter 73 told me where she'd hidden the real documents. Not mailed. Not destroyed. Hidden in the one place no one would ever think to look. In her coffin. Tomorrow, I'm going back to that cemetery. With a shovel. And a witness. And a live stream that can't be shut down.
My wife spent 2 years planning this from beyond the grave.
The least I can do is see it through. People ask me if I'm scared. I tell them no. Because every night, at 2:11 a.m., my phone buzzes. And she's there. Guiding me. Protecting me. 3 words. Every single night. I love you. 3 words. And I finally get to say it back. Some love stories don't end with death. Some are just getting started.